The film opens on Sean Foster, a quiet, laser-focused high school senior with a 4.8 GPA, a physics club presidency, and exactly one goal: MIT. And he doesn't know yet that the most popular girl in school is about to crash into his life. Literally, it's the first day of school. In the gymnasium, clubs pitch themselves to the student body. Sean and his best friend Denny drag the physics club's turbine model to the stage. The crowd is restless. Then Sean strips off his shirt to give Denny a clean one. The gym goes quiet for a different reason. Students stare. Someone shouts his old nickname. Then someone else shouts that he's had a quantum glow-up. Sean pulls the shirt on fast and tries to disappear behind the equipment. Across campus, Flora Morgan moves through the halls with the ease of someone who has never had to think about being watched. She is beautiful, warm, and wrapped up in the orbit of Tucker Hunt, her boyfriend, a self-styled influencer who sells motivational quotes and hair gel under the brand Tuck Everlasting. Tucker is loud and magnetic. Flora amplifies everything he does. She doesn't notice yet that the arrangement is entirely one-sided. That evening, Tucker's mother calls the Foster convenience store asking for a keg delivery. Sean's mom is swamped. Denny volunteers them both before Sean can object. Sean makes Denny swear they will drop it and leave. They will not drop it and leave. At Tucker's party, the house is loud and lit up. Sean wheels the keg toward the door. A girl comes flying out. He swerves. The keg catches the side of a car. Flora Morgan stands in front of him, mascara streaked, phone buzzing in her hand. She just caught Tucker kissing his ex inside his own home. She needs a car. Sean's is the only one in the driveway. She gets in. In the car, Flora directs him badly and too fast. She criticizes his speed. She mocks his blinker. Sean uses the blinker anyway. She tells him to pull up to a massive house. He looks at it. She says, "Welcome to my home." Inside, she kicks off her shoes and tells him to take his off too. She gets him water. She tells him about Tucker, that she knew, that everyone probably knew, and that she was the last to admit it. Sean says quietly that it seems like she could do a lot better. She calls him a bad liar. He says he isn't lying. Flora falls asleep on the couch. Sean sits in the chair across the room. He doesn't leave. Sometime after midnight, the front door opens. Her parents walk in. Alice and Mark Morgan, two of the most decorated scientists in the country. They find a teenage boy sitting silently in their living room. Mark raises a fireplace poker. Sean introduces himself fast. Mark puts the poker down. He looks at Sean carefully. He says the name back, Sean Foster. The next day, the Morgans invite Sean back. They sit across from him in a clean, well-lit room and make a proposal. Flora has no interest in taking the SATs or applying to college. They believe that if she starts spending time with someone academically serious, she may start to take her own potential seriously. They call it the transitive property of romance. If Flora likes Sean and Sean likes grades, eventually Flora will like grades. They offer $400 an hour, a summer internship at Halix Energy, a recommendation letter to MIT. Sean stands up and says it's unethical. They repeat the offer. He leaves. Denny tells him he is a fool. Sean lasts exactly long enough to find Flora alone in the school hallway. He walks up to her. He compliments her hair. He asks if she's free later. She tilts her head and asks if he's asking her out. He says yes. She says, "What did you have in mind?" He says maybe they could study. She says, "Your place. Cool. It's a date." She walks away. Denny grabs Sean by the arm and pulls him around the corner. At Sean's house, Flora meets his sister Lindsay and his mom Erin. The house is warm and lived in. Textbooks on the table, trombone case against the wall. Sean's bedroom is papered with physics ribbons and volcano models. His clothes include zip-off fishing trousers. Flora looks at them. He explains they're for fishing. She looks at him differently. They sit on the floor and she asks him first date questions he doesn't know how to answer. She tells him this doesn't have to be scary. They've already been alone before. Flora suggests they go to the links, a field party in the woods. Sean doesn't drink. He stands beside her with a cup of water while she watches the crowd. Tucker appears and introduces himself to Lindsay. Sean watches. Moments later, they stand apart from the crowd. Flora asks him about astronomy. Sean tells her about Perseus and Andromeda, the outsider hero who wasn't big or strong, but was clever and saw a girl everyone else had abandoned and decided she was worth something. Flora listens closely. She says Perseus sounds like every kid who got picked last in gym. Sean goes quiet. She asks softly, "Do you want to save me, Sean?" Before he can answer, sirens cut through the trees. They run. The weeks that follow move quickly. They study together every evening. Flora scores a 1,450 on a practice SAT. Sean can't hide his reaction. She tells him it was a fluke. He says it wasn't. She takes him to her secret place, a quiet spot she found last summer where she has been writing in journals, something she has never told anyone. She says he is the first person she has brought here. The sky is dark and still above them. She leans in. She kisses him first. Back at home, Sean gathers every dollar the Morgans have paid him. He puts it in an envelope. He returns to their house and hands it back. He tells them that the recommendation letter is torn up and the internship is off. He says Flora scored a 1,450 not because of him, but because she is capable. And they underestimated her, which is why she underestimates herself. He walks out. He does not tell Flora any of this. At homecoming, their names are announced as King and Queen. Tucker pulls Sean aside in the corridor. He says Flora is using Sean to get back at him, that the crown belongs to Tucker, and that Flora is still his. Sean looks at him and says, "She doesn't belong to you." Tucker swings. Sean takes the hit and goes down. Students scatter. Flora pushes through the crowd. Outside, she asks if he's okay. He tells her he has to say something. He tells her his father didn't die in a random drunk driving accident. His father was the drunk driver. He was two different people, one in public, one in private. Sean says he has spent his whole life terrified of becoming someone who hides things. Flora holds his hand. She says people can be more than one thing. The irony is all over his face, but he says nothing. One evening he takes her to the beach. A constellation of lights is arranged in the sand, Andromeda, spelled out in white. He tells her he loves her. She says it back, her voice steady and sure. He opens his mouth to tell her the truth. She interrupts. She tells him she signed up for the SATs. She is beaming. He closes his mouth. He smiles. He says nothing. The truth arrives at his mother's birthday party. Tucker walks in uninvited. He stands in the middle of the room and says Sean is on the Morgans' payroll. He says Flora's parents paid Sean to date her. He says the word love came with a check. Flora goes still. She turns to Sean. She asks, "Did you or did you not take money from my parents to date me?" He says it's complicated. He says he gave it all back. She asks what else they offered. He tells her about the MIT letter. She asks if he tore it up before or after they were intimate. He says before. That is why he couldn't go through with it. She tells him to go to hell and leaves. She walks back through the terminal. Sean's car screeches into the airport pickup zone. A traffic officer shouts. Sean says he has to go get a girl. The officer waves him through. He runs. He finds Flora in the terminal. He stops in front of her, breathing hard. He says he came to tell her he loves her. He says he doesn't want her running towards something she doesn't want just because she's running away from him. She looks at him. She asks if he can give her a ride. He says yes. She doesn't use the blinker. He notices. He says nothing. She drops him at the fractal scope competition. Her parents are on the judging panel. Sean and Denny present their wave energy conversion AI project. The model runs clean. The room is quiet. They win. The Morgans watch from the back row. Months later, the film arrives at its final scene. Sean is on the MIT campus. Flora appears. She tells him she spent time in London and Paris, sitting in cafes, writing, being alone. She says she is going to Boston University in the fall. She is going to be a writer. Sean looks at her and asks if she's doing it for herself. She says, 100%. He says he's happy for her. She smiles and says Andromeda is saving herself now. She gets to tell her own story. Sean says his dreams keep changing too. He says it's not an easy thing to admit. Flora says some things are easy. Someone told her that once. They stand close. The campus moves quietly around them. The film ends.